Malaysia, we meet volunteer Liu Baolai, who insists to join Tzu Chi's water repentance performance despite her knee problem. We take a look at how Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members across the globe safeguard the health of those in need. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Since August of last year, some 500 Tzu Chi volunteers from Klang, Malaysia have been attending study groups and rehearsals in preparation for Tzu Chi's nationwide musical adaptation of the Water Repentance Sutra, which is just months away. One of the onstage performers, Liu Baolai, suffers from osteoarthritis of the knee, and her doctor recommended that she undergo surgery. However, despite the discomfort and pain, Liu decided to postpone her surgery and conquer all physical setbacks to be a part of this rare occasion.
The cartilage in my knee joint has worn out. My left leg is still okay.
64-year-old Liu Baolai holds up her x-rays, which reflect an abnormality of her right knee. It turns out Liu suffers from osteoarthritis of the knee.
When we have to kneel, I can kneel down like this. But then when we have to stand, I can't get up. So I practice kneeling down and getting up at home every day.
Supporting all her weight on her left leg, each time Liu kneels, her left knee makes a clicking sound.
The inflammation is quite severe and the cartilage is worn and damaged. The doctor suggested that my mother undergo surgery, but my mother said that she wants to wait until after the sign language performance. Seeing her determination to take part in the musical adaptation, as her family, we should give her our full support and blessings.
Determined to perfect her movements and the lyrics, Liu works hard to overcome her physical discomfort and pain.
I didn't receive much education, so I am a slow learner compared to everyone else, especially now that I'm old. But I made a vow that even if my legs are in pain, I'm going to complete this performance no matter what.
Although the repeated actions of kneeling and standing further exacerbates the pain in Liu's knees, she, however, does not want to miss out on this rare opportunity to walk the Bodhisattva path.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia are busy rehearsing for the musical adaptation of the Water Repentance Sutra, taking place at the Kuala Lumpur Jingsi Hall in July. As onstage volunteers are scattered in different cities and towns, practicing formation move has been difficult since many cannot travel to the branch offices to practice. To solve the problem, some volunteers have made canvases with placing markers for their counterparts to use in their respective areas.
In Kota Tinggi, at every rehearsal, Wu Fulong is the first to arrive. He bought the canvas on which the formations were spelled out with place markers. He also takes on the tasks of laying out the canvas, setting up audio equipment, arranging signing practices, and directing the onstage volunteers.
We do whatever we can do, and that means almost all the tasks. We hope to inspire more people to join the sutra adaptation and reflect upon themselves so they can contribute to society.
The place markers are even more creative in Klang. The volunteers tied strips of cloth to a bamboo stick and then attach color plates with numbers on them. These place markers can be carried and used in different locations.
We simply spread the cloth strips to mark our positions. We can put the place markers on the ground and lay out the formation in 20 minutes.
The place markers are important for our practices. I can feel that the team is improving faster now.
With creative efforts, volunteers in both places have created easy-to-use place markers for the onstage volunteers to memorize their formation positions. In Banti, the volunteers overcame many obstacles to hold this first outdoor sutra adaptation practice.
The first and second practice sites were too small, so we were busy switching to different locations. This is the third place.
I am touched that they set up the audio and computer equipment as well as laying out the place markers in half an hour.
I wonder why they don't use the branch office. It's because the canvas with place markers is huge.
Ban Thi is 2 hours away from Klong by car, so the volunteers brought a canvas with place markers to Ban Thi for participants to practice right there. With the place markers, the onstage volunteers found more confidence in their movements.
At the beginning, I wanted to call it quits as I could not get the hang of it. With the place markers today, I practiced again and the markers can guide my moves.
The volunteers persevered with the 3-hour practice.
Everyone is so busy, yet they brought the big and heavy canvas here. I feel touched. We have to learn and improve every day, as they made all these efforts to teach us.
With the sutra adaptation performance a few months away, volunteers put in their best efforts, hoping the result will be a dignified and touching sutra adaptation.
The Tzu Chi Foundation has designated the second Sunday of May each year as tri-celebration event to mark Buddha Day, Mother's Day, and Global Tzu Chi Day in preparation for one of the foundation's biggest events of the year. Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia have begun promoting the event in local communities. Recently, volunteers visited Sila Paramita School in East Jakarta to explain the ritual and significance of the Buddha Day ceremony.
To spread word of the upcoming Buddha Day ceremony on the second Sunday of May, Tzu Chi volunteers are here at Sila Paramita School in East Jakarta to explain the significance and ritual of Buddha Day to students.
We're here to promote the Buddha Day ceremony because Tzu Chi's Buddha Day ceremony is different from the usual rituals. So we have come here to introduce it to the students.
90 students have set aside time to rehearse with the volunteers.
It's not difficult to follow along with the music. What's difficult is for everyone to move in unison.
They are all very interested and eager to learn about Tzu Chi's Buddha Day rituals.
Some are more nervous than others while perfecting their movements. However, everyone tries their best to learn the ropes.
Buddha Day reminds me of the Sakyamuni Buddha. It reminds me of his sacrifices for all sentient beings. This makes me want to learn more about his teachings.
Tzu Chi's Tri-Celebration is one of the Foundation's biggest events of the year. Hence, students all put their best foot forward as they cherish the opportunity to be a part of this significant occasion.
Those living in Taiwan's Kaohsiung are also deeply troubled by pollution, just like those living around FPG's 6th naphtha cracking plant in Yunlin, because Kaohsiung was the birthplace of Taiwan's petrochemical industries. With the CPC's 5th naphtha cracking plant still in operation, 500,000 residents living in surrounding industrial parks are exposed to carcinogenic pollutants, and thus the death by cancer rate here is far higher than the national average. I'm currently standing in front of Daashe Industrial Park in Kaohsiung, and over here in Renwu Industrial Park, further away we have CPC's oil refinery. Surrounded by this heavy industry, it's no wonder that the air quality in Kaohsiung is so poor.
Southern Taiwan is full of steel refineries and petrochemical plants. Though they help boost the local economy, the plants discharge pollution into the sky 24/7, painting it grey. To monitor air quality in Kaohsiung, the Citizen of the Earth Taiwan Foundation took photos of Taishan continuously for 100 days in 2012 and discovered clear skies for only 23 days.
During the 100 days, we found that the chance to see clear blue sky was less than 25%, which proved that the air quality in central and southern Taiwan was poor most of the time. You can tell with the naked eye because visibility decreases as pollution increases.
According to the Environmental Protection Administration, the annual average of PM2.5 detected here is 29.4 micrograms per cubic meter, which was twice the national average of 15 micrograms. The Kaohsiung Health Bureau has conducted a study on the health of those living around the industrial parks and found that deaths caused by cancer in Nanzi, Zuoying, Renwu, and Daashe were far higher than the national average.
The death by cancer rate for areas surrounding Zhengda Industrial Park in northern Kaohsiung is 1.8 times higher than the Qishan and Meinong districts, and 4.5 times higher compared to Hualien County.
Temples in Houjing district have LED signs that warn citizens to shut their windows tightly against the outside pollution.
When we open our window, a sour smell comes in. This happens every day. Just look here. We have to clean 2 to 3 times a day.
Living next to the Dashi Industrial Park, Mr. Gu says his home is always covered in dust, even though his wife cleans continuously. Though he rarely opens his windows, this bucket of water used for wiping is already filthy.
We rarely open our windows because there's so much dust outside. A slight draft can make a home filthy very easily.
Though CPC's refinery is slated to relocate by the end of 2015, while the Renda Industrial Park will also relocate by 2017, Kaohsiung City is planning a new petrochemical park, which environmental activists strongly oppose.
Because the pollution here has become far too serious, we really ought to reconsider the need to establish a petrochemical industrial park. The park will also require a lot of water, which will make the current water shortage problem even worse.
Taiwan's economic boom started with the heavy industries in southern Taiwan, but at the same time, the resulting pollution has put citizens' health at risk. As the government tries to strengthen the country's economy, it needs to evaluate the need for these highly polluting industries because good health is priceless.
In Thailand, Tzu Chi volunteers held their regular free clinic at the construction site at the Jingsi Ho in Bangkok on behalf of refugees and care recipients. While in Taiwan, Northern District TIMA volunteers held their regular free clinic in Ruifang District near Taipei City, as well as making home visitations in the rural areas of Keelung.
On their regular free clinic in Ruifang District, TIMA members provided dental, ophthalmology, Chinese medicine, and other services. Many residents seized the opportunity to seek much-needed medical attention.
Seize the time to serve. I want to be the master's hands and feet and reach out to the needy.
Another team of medical volunteers also made house calls in the remote areas of Keelung, and their services impressed this young volunteer.
Seeing how the doctors and nurses cared for the patients, you realize that we also give them companionship, which seems to be more important.
In providing medical services, the TIMA volunteers stay firm on the importance of giving the underprivileged needed companionship and care. Moving to Thailand, Tzu Chi volunteers have overcome language barriers to hold monthly free clinics to care for refugees and care recipients since January. Volunteers in Bangkok held their 4th free clinic. With the roof being built, the place is becoming more like a home. Upon seeing a familiar care recipient, one volunteer warmly welcomed her to the clinic. Her nickname is Kun Mao. That's what the grandma calls her.
Do you miss Meow? Do you remember what Meow did for you? I washed clothes for you.
Refugees receive medical answers here thanks to the volunteers' translation. These sincere services have truly warmed the hearts of the clinic attendees.
You provide medicine, you provide water, you provide transportation. So It's a good effort.
In caring for the heart as well as the actual illnesses, the volunteers continue to accompany the medically deprived with much-needed love.
TIMA volunteers in Zhanghua, Taiwan held a free clinic at the National Immigration Agency's Nantou service station. Among the volunteers were the family of 3 doctors and a pharmacist couple. Also providing much-needed medical care, Northern District TIMA volunteers visited seniors on a regular free clinic in the mountainous regions of New Taipei City.
Delighted to see the TIMA volunteers, the grandma pours her heart out.
This part is in pain. I can't bend this finger.
The medical volunteers listen closely to seniors' problems. While the doctor examines her, volunteers chat with the senior to keep her company.
You promised me you won't cry, otherwise your eyesight will deteriorate.
Caring for seniors in the mountainous regions of Sanji has become a priority for these TIMA volunteers.
We truly help the people here, and long-term care is very precious. I'm delighted to see the medical team. My health improved right away.
Caring for the seniors like their own family, the medical volunteers continue to bring warmth to the cold mountain regions. Turning to Nantou, this is the 3rd time physician Zheng Mingwei is serving the needy at a free clinic. He grew up watching his father, also a doctor, provide medical services as a TIMA volunteer.
There's a history behind each inmate, and we can't really solve their problems. We can only provide medical assistance.
Zheng's younger brother, Zheng Minghua, is a future dentist who is currently serving his alternative military duty as an EMT for the fire department.
It's my 2nd time coming here. I'm glad to be back, as it's been a long time since I was here.
Besides the family of doctors, there's also a husband and wife couple, both pharmacists.
We're happy to contribute our skills here, and I always look forward to taking part in TIMA activities.
These medical professionals bring care to where it is needed as they put their love into action.
At the recent parent-child classes in Xinyi and Banqiao districts, Tzu Chi volunteers invited guest speakers to talk about food safety and environmental conservation. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers help children develop good character by teaching them sign language, Chinese, and Jingzi aphorisms. At a moral education class organized by the Tzu Chi Tenggara Liaison Office, children expressed their gratitude for having food to eat through song.
Mami itu juga relawan di sini, jadinya ikut ada.
My mother is a volunteer, so I decided to join the class. Coming here, I get to learn sign language and participate in Tzu Chi's free clinics. I think learning Chinese is one of the most difficult things I have encountered.
Ya, karena emang Mandarinnya lebih dalam gitu.
As most of the children have grown up in Indonesia, Chinese is an unfamiliar language for them. With each Jingzi aphorisms, the children not only learn the lessons contained within, but also get to improve their Chinese.
We need to respect our parents. We should do good deeds and not bad things.
By holding the bi-weekly moral education class, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to help students develop good moral values at a young age.
要吃饭哦，妈妈去拿碗筷。
我自己有在看顾，我可以用自己的。
Meanwhile, in Taipei, Taiwan, participants at the Tzu Chi parent-child class are learning ways to conserve water.
洗米的水可以拿去浇花。
We can use the water for cleaning rice to water flowers. When washing our hands or dishes, we should not use too much water. Faucets should be closed tightly when not in use.
While in Banqiao, the theme at the parent-child class was food safety. A guest speaker was invited to talk about food safety, a topic that many parents are extremely concerned about.
I think we need to reconsider what we eat and how to eat healthy to avoid cancer or kidney problems.
By partaking in the parent-child class, both children and adults have gained knowledge that can help them live happier and healthier. In times of disaster, regardless of race or religion, people always band together to help one another through their most difficult moments. In the days following the earthquake in Nepal, we have witnessed acts of kindness and compassion everywhere. In our next report, we see how the earthquake has evolved feelings of loving kindness and empathy in Malaysia.
Many people were buried under the rocks. They died in the rocks.
When these innocent faces saw the extent of destruction in Kathmandu, Nepal, their hearts were weighed down with sorrow. Showing empathy for those grappling with the devastating consequences of the earthquake, students offered their prayers and donated their bamboo coin banks to help. Meanwhile, patients undergoing dialysis at the Penang Tzu Chi Dialysis Center also seized the opportunity to put their kindness into action.
I myself am a dialysis patient. In the same way Tzu Chi has been helping us, we want to help others as well.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Malacca also began a donation drive, hoping that their contributions can help the Nepalese rebuild their homes and lives.
We go to Kaohsiung, Taiwan at the end of the show, where Tzu Chi volunteers organized a Mother's Day celebration at the Alian Junior High School. Besides showing students a clip on the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude towards parents to remind them the importance of fulfilling their filial duties, the volunteers also encourage youngsters to respectfully offer a cup of tea to their parents. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.